glad you could join me here today. I have a really sweet summertime project to share with you for Little Birdie Crafts. This is a 6x6 little folio that is super easy to put together, and I have a tutorial that's going to show you how to do that. Before we take a look at the folio, I'm going to show you the supplies that I used. I used the Celebrate Life paper collection, both in the 6x6 and the 12x12. This is such a happy paper collection, and the images and the colors are just absolutely stunning. There's a lot to love here. I've used a lot of the pages, but look at the little cupcakes, gorgeous floral clusters, pink wood grain, beautiful pastel cameras. I mean, it's just a fantastic, and darling little birds, which I love. Then I also used these petite beaded fancies. This is pearl pink. And then from the primed chipboard, I used the chipboard brick with window. I used the chipboard vines. I used chipboard berries. I used the Fairy Rosa Fairy Sparkle flowers. And then I created really cute tags using their thin cut dies, the oval tags and the regular tags, and these have a great stitched edge on them. So let's dive into this project and take a look. Here is that brick and door chipboard that I've turned into like a little opening on our folio, and then I've surrounded it with those Fairy Rosa Sparkle flowers. Sweet little birds, fussy cut from the collection, a little festive banner across the top. Here are the vines, and here are the berries from the chipboard as well. So I just distressed the edge of a 6x6, trimmed it down, and laid it on top here. And this is just made with two 12x12 sheets of white cardstock. About 65-pound weight is probably good. We've got a little spine here, and here's this pretty pink damask on the back. Ribbon closure, and you'll learn how to do all these steps in the tutorial that follows. So inside we've got a slash pocket, and here are those adorable tags I was telling you about. Are these not so cute? And these are put on little jump rings so you can slide them. This is a great place to add little tiny photos, journaling, quotes, whatever you want to do. There's a cute little teapot charm from my stash. And then again here, this little cupcake. I love using this itty bitty tag to make little charms, because you just place the tag over your image and cut. Like this was a scrap, and look at the cutest little tag that made. So these are fun. I love these tags. Here's one of the doilies from the 12x12 layered up with some fussy cuts. And then over here we've got another little doily just here at the bottom to create this tuck spot for a sweet little 3x4 card, and another darling little tag. So very, very fun. And then this is actually a pull-out page. So you've got room for a big photo here. This is just a tuck spot, and this pulls out, so you've got room for 3 more photos here. This would be a great way to record a birthday party or a bridal shower, any special event. Just super sweet. So we tuck these back in, turn the page, and you can see this is the pocket here. It's so easy to make. You're gonna love this tutorial because this is super fun design, but really easy to do. Another slash pocket here with a couple more tags, and this is the dream catcher and the little birds, and look how sweet. And you can do your journaling on the back just with regular pen, which is so nice. And then just some fussy cuts to decorate here. And of course there is room in these pockets to tuck in more photos, which is very nice. Here's our other little pull-out page. I use this fussy cut to make a tab pull here. Another little sweet cluster of tags and charms. And then you can also tuck back behind here. This pulls out. And again, room for 3 more large photos and a large photo here. So I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised at how easy it is to make this little folio. These will make great gifts. You can change up the design papers that you use, the color palette that you use. I think Little Birdie has a brand new masculine collection that looks awesome. You could make a masculine one with this and just leave off the ribbon and make the charms, you know, less frilly. But anyway, so if you want to learn how to make this sweet little 6x6 folio, stick around. The tutorial comes up next. Okay, let's get started on this easy little accordion folio. The first step is to take 2 sheets of 12 by 12 cardstock. And I've used just a plain white, probably this is about 65-pound cardstock. It doesn't need to be real heavy because the Little Birdie papers are so heavy they're going to give it a lot of strength. So you're going to cut each piece in half. It doesn't matter, horizontally, vertically. You want to end up with 6-inch by 12-inch panels, and you need 4 of those. Then the next step is you're going to line 2 of these panels up together, and you can see how I've pieced them along the sides. And I just put adhesive right along about 1/4 inch over from where my cut was. And I did that all the way down. So you end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 6x6 panels. So you see, here's where I've joined. Here is where I've joined. And then you're going to have this little 1 1/4 inch flap on the left. And go ahead and score that at every 1/4 inch. And this is actually going to be the spine. So keeping this so that this 1 1/4 inch tab is on the left. You're going to fold this. This is going to be your front cover. And you're just going to accordion fold like this. And then this spine is going to come around and wrap on the left like a spine should. What we're going to have is a book with 1, 2, 3 pages in it and 1, 2 pockets. So you need to place adhesive. And the first thing you're going to do is put adhesive along the bottom of this panel that's all the way at the left, and then down the side of the second panel. Then along the bottom of this panel that's in the middle, don't put any, and then down the side of this panel that on the right. So here's your front, this will be your front cover. So then when this folds up like this, you're going to have a page, a pocket page, a pocket page. So we'll just put this together very quickly. Remove the liner from your adhesive. And you can use a liquid adhesive if you prefer. This is just easy. Now when you fold this up, it's going to seal your pockets at the bottom, just like that, and along the sides. And now you've got this lovely little book. Then for the front, you want to leave a little bit of a spine here so that your book will be able to open. And so just pinch this like this. So now here's your cover on the back, here's your cover on the front, and we're actually going to cover the front with a 6x6 panel. So it's going to look, it's going to cover up most of your spine, if that makes sense. So go ahead, take your adhesive off your spine piece now that you figured out where you want it placed, and just fold it over. Just like that. And now look, you've got this great little book. And we're going to cover this, and we're going to create pull-outs to go in these pockets. And before you do your adhesive and everything, I used Distress ink in worn lipstick and speckled eggs. And then I spritzed that. You can see the little bit of distressing, because I wanted this to have a vintage sort of shabby chic edge, which it will. And then I came back with like just a gold mica gel and hit all the edges just to give it that little bit of shimmer and shine. And of course you can color yours to match whatever paper collection you're working with. So now that this is done, we can start decorating. Now, as you can see, I've written myself little notes in here, like this is page 1. This is what I plan to do here. This is page 3, page 4, and back cover. I do this because it's really easy to get turned around, and well, it's easy for me to get turned around when I'm putting this together. So this just helps me keep track. And the next thing we're going to do is add a ribbon closure to this, and I've just run 1/2 inch score tape all the way around the front, the spine, and the back. And then I have probably, I don't know, a yard of this pearl pink shimmer satin ribbon. And I'm going to find the midpoint. Then I'm going to take off my tape. And I like to lay this underneath all the paper layers. So I'm putting my midpoint right on that spine, because the paper layers will actually help hold this in place. So just like that. And now, you know, I like to have about 9 inches of ribbon hanging off the side so I can tie my bow. So that is that. The next step is to make the pull-out pages for your hidden pockets. And I took one of the 12 by 12 sheets and I cut this to measure 5 1/4 inches wide by 11, and I think it's like 5/8. But I'll show you what I did. I scored it at 5 3/4 and then moved over 1/8 inch and scored it again. Then I just trimmed it off even. So the reason you do that extra 1/8 inch is that this makes it fold over nicely, and it will lie better in your pocket. So go ahead and do those. And then I'm going to use a corner rounding punch. This is one that I've had in my stash forever. And I'm just going to cut a little decorative corner. This is a crocodile. This is the scallop. And I don't even know if they make this punch anymore. I mean, I've had mine for probably 10 or 12 years. But we're just going to crop out those corners to add a little pretty shape detail there. So that's the hidden pocket inserts. Now I want to treat the insides of these little pull-out pages the same way as I did the base pages. So I'm working with Worn Lipstick Distress ink, and I'm just brushing this just around the edges. Because paper, we're going to use designer paper from the collection to cover this. And when you do this, you start on your craft sheet and then just swipe in. This way you get a nice smooth edge. You don't get a big round blob. And the good thing about this paper is that the finish on it takes this ink beautifully. So you're just going to go all the way around like this, get along this spine area, and then I just like to lightly spritz it. I'm using almost no water at all here. And then you bring in your heat gun. And you can see how it leaves this lovely little distressed edge. And then I like to come in with my gathered twigs and just create a frame. And most of this is going to be covered up with our photo mounts in here, but this just makes everything look really finished. So that's how you do that. So I've prepared liners for the inside of our little pull-out page, And these are cut to 5 by 5.5, and you'll need 2 of these. But before you glue, I've already glued the one on the bottom down, but before you glue the one on the top down, you want to go ahead and place your magnet. And I've got it in the center about 1 inch from the top. And I'm just going to put a little piece of score tape over this to make sure that it stays. If one adhesive is good, 2 are better, right? And I'm going to bring in my panel, and I did crop the corners on these. And I'm just going to place this, whoops. Just like that. So I want to show you how to place your magnet inside. So I've put the negative magnet on top of the positive magnet that's here. It's not glued down, it's just, see, it's just setting there because that's where it wants to go. Put your hidden page into your pocket. So line it up so that it's centered, because once you put this magnet down, that is where your page is going to want to rest. So make sure you've got it lined up the way you want it to be lined up. Make sure you're lined up across the top. Remove that little piece of adhesive that's on the magnet and fold your page down. And press, and then gently lift up, and there's your magnet place. Now put another little piece of adhesive here, just like that. And bring in your base page, which is this 6 by 6 little banner. And I'm not going to crop the corners because I want the contrast between the pull-out and the base page. Now we're just going to adhere this. Remove that little bit of score tape. Line this up. And then just press it in place. And now that flap wants to stick to that magnet. Easy. So that's how you do the magnetic pull-out pocket pages. Now I want to show you how to build this little slash pocket feature. This is the one on the first page. We also want one on this page. Bring in a 6 by 6 piece. This time I'm going to use the Dream Catcher. And you're going to put this on your cutting tool. And you want to line the points up, the corner points up with the edge of your cutter, and then just make a diagonal cut. Now if this was a right-hand page, you would cut in the opposite direction. Now lay this on your scoring tool, and you're going to score a 1/2 inch on the bottom and score a 1/2 inch on the left-hand side. And just fold these. And so you've got this little corner. Bring in your scissors and just cut that corner off right where it meets. Don't go above, you want to stay just below those scored lines. And fold this over and burnish it. And see how the corners meet and make this really neat and tidy joint. Then bring your scissors in again. Trim off the corner here and trim off the corner here. And I'm just going to ink my edges very quickly. slash pockets are handy because you can put a ton of stuff in them and stuff doesn't fall out. Bring in your folio, place adhesive on your little flaps here, and then just glue it into the corner. Now, on the cover, I adhered one of the 6x6 damask patterns, and then I trimmed about 1/4 of an inch off the sides of the sweet little birds, distressed the edges, and you can just use the side of your scissors if you don't have a distressing tool. You're just going to lightly run your scissor over that edge and see how it distresses it. So easy peasy. I have a tool, but you don't have to have a tool. And then come back and ink up your edges. And this just creates a sense of depth on your cover. Now we've done really all the mechanisms and technical parts. The only thing left to do is to decorate the inside, and you can do that any way that you want to. I'm going to go ahead and decorate mine, and then I will come back and show you what I did. Okay, I just want to show you how I finished up the inside of our little folio. This turned out so cute, and it's real easy to do. So on this slash pocket, I just decorated it up with one of the pretty doilies, a little ticket, and a fussy cut teapot and cups. And then I've tucked in here, and of course this pocket will also hold photos. You can probably put 4x4, even 5x5 photos into the pocket. But for journaling, I created these sweet little multi-layered tags. And to do that, I use these Little Birdie thin cut dies. This one is the oval tags, and this one is tags. And they have this really sweet stitched edge on them that cuts a beautiful tag. I use the Dream Cut machine from Little Birdie Crafts. It cuts like butter. And then I just layered these together, cut from my scraps. You can do a little journaling here or a little tiny photo on the back. And then these tuck in the pockets. And I've topped the tags with just gold metallic string. And these, I think these are petite beaded flowers. I'll look it up. The name is not on the back of the bag, but I use those a lot, and those are in pearl pink. So there's the oval tags and there's the square tags, and it's just so fun to do these to cut up your scraps. So over here on our little pull-out page, I glued the doily, just one thin bead of adhesive down here at the bottom, so you can tuck a photo back behind here. And then I took one of the little 3x4 cards, and I didn't want the sentiment on it. I just wanted the picture of the tea. So I added fussy cut flowers and this little bird, and that tucks in there. Of course, you can put a photo or journaling on the back. You can mount a photo actually here, tuck a photo back in here, and then another set of these sweet little tags. So super, super cute. And that tucks in here. And then, of course, this lifts up. I just decorated with a little cupcake, and then there's our pull-out that we did before. Over here in this slash pocket, I went with the camera theme, and again, here's another little set of these sweet, sweet little tags, just cut from scraps, and stick them in there. I joined them together with jump rings. A jump ring is from the jewelry making department, and you just put that on there so you can actually turn the tags. They're actually useful. On this one, I add a little feather to go with the dream catchers, and there's the tags. So cute. And then over here, another one of these oval doilies just glued at the bottom. Another 3x4. I put this cute camera fussy cut at the top as a tab. And then another little grouping of tags for journaling and small photos. So these tuck in here. And then on the base, I just glued the very bottom. I used a scallop punch to punch out a little piece of cardstock. This was actually from the in-between part on your doily page. After you've punched the doilies out, you can get about 6 of these out of there. And another fussy cut camera and little flowers. So there's the inside finished. And it's a little bit lumpy, but not too lumpy. And thankfully we have this great ribbon tie that's going to hold everything together. So the only thing that I need to do now is decorate my cover. Okay, so we're ready to finish the cover of our little folio. And I took all the tags and things out so that this would lie nice and flat while we work on it. The first thing I did was paint this primed chipboard piece. And I think this is the arched door. Let me see if I can find the... Yeah, Brick with Window is the name of this piece. And I painted it just with cream chalk paint. Then I came and tapped it with my worn lipstick distress ink, and then I just hit it with a little bit of mica powder to give it a bit of sparkle, and then came back with distressed gathered twigs to kind of grunge it up a little bit. So then I fussy cut this larger image of the birds and branches. It's the same as what is here, and I've backed this with foam adhesive, and I just want to put this up in the corner. And I've got tons of, I always put tons of adhesive, foam adhesive on, because I want to make sure it's really going to last. And we're just going to angle this in. We're going to follow the line of the original piece, and we're just going to set that in the corner to create a little depth and dimension right off the bat. And I should show you that I did cut a little bit off the top and bottom of this brick window to make it fit the size of the album. I just snipped it with scissors. So this is the Vines primed chipboard, and I just did this. I hit it with peeled paint distress ink and then tapped it with a little bit of worn lipstick. Yes, I want this to go up over the top, kind of like it's growing up an arbor, like this. I'm just going to press that into place, and then this one is going to go up the side just to create some extra texture and dimension. So I'm going to tuck this in like this, and I actually want it to kind of come out like this. So these are a little bit flexible. You don't want to press them too hard or you will break them. Then this is another fussy cut swag from the paper collection. I'm not sure if this is from the 12 by 12 or the 6 by 6. I like to go through when I get the collection and just cut them all. And that way I have them when I want to use them. And I'm going to put double adhesive foam strips in the middle, but only single on the outside, because then what this is going to do is create an arched effect. So it gives you just that little extra bit of dimension. And then in the center, I just fussy cut another swag, and I'm going to put it over the top for even more dimension. So then there's this other little chipboard called Berries, and I just want some of these to come peeking out from underneath like this. And then I've got another piece here. And I want this to come out maybe from maybe over here. And what I did was colored these with worn lipstick, and then I took Perfect Pearls and just let that sit up overnight, and it turned pink, which is really cool. It picked up the color from the distress. Now, from my flowers, these are Fairy Rosa Fairy Sparkle. And these are really cool because they're already all clustered for you, so it makes your work easy. And I'm going to place some hot glue on the back here. Even though they have adhesive, I want to add that extra because sometimes it's a little difficult for it to cling to chipboard, and I will come back with my Dries Clear adhesive and tuck those leaves down as well. And then I've got one that I want to go this way. So we've created like this beautiful little arbor garden here. And I'm telling you, I love these that are clustered together. It makes my life so easy. So I just want to angle it like this. And you can actually bend these to create more of a curve if you want to. I'll come in with my glue and hold those down. And I have this little wee bird, and I'm just kind of rounding him with my fingers and taking foam squares, 2 in the middle, 1 on the outside, and I want to lift these leaves and tuck this little bird in so that it looks like this is its, you know how they'll build a nest in your doorway? That's kind of what I want this to look like. So just like that. There we go. There. Now I can come in and just adhere these pieces down so they're secure. But there you have it. And I don't think I need to add a bow because we've got this beautiful bow on the side. I'm going to look through my buttons for a gorgeous, or I might find a small metal clock just to put in the center of the door to finish it off. But that is it. That's our little folio. So fun. I hope you enjoyed making it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up so other crafters can find it. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would love to have you along for the journey. Be sure to check out my blog at kathybydesign.com. I will put the list below because I'll have a linked supply list so you can find all of these beautiful, beautiful crafting supplies at Little Birdie Crafts and make your own folio. All right, that's it for me. I'm going to go get my craft on. Bye.